Welcome to my kitchen. So there is Eira and Simcha and Sossen and Vikor didn't get off the window. These three fellows live on my window in my kitchen. So I'm introducing you to Simcha. Thank you, Dalia. So, what is Purim? So much to say, but I chose one sicha, one concept. Kimu v'kiblu haYehudim asher ischilu lasis. Am Yisrael on Purim were mekayem what they got at Har Sinai Naaseh v'Nishma. So let's go back a little. Moshe kibel Torah Sinai, in which year? My students out there, come on, Pupa, Beis Yaakov, Beis Rivka, in the year 2448. Moshe kibel Torah Sinai in the year 2448. And from then we went. Moshe kibel Torah Sinai, Masaru Yeshua, Shul Eskenim, Skenim LeNeviim, and Neviim Masaru Alan Shekneses Agdela. We find ourselves the Purim story during the time of Anshe Knesses Agdela in the 70 years of Golus Bavel. But Golus Bavel, by the way, was more than 70 years because we went down 3 times to Bavel. When we went down to Golus the first time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I guess, was hoping that we would stop, but we didn't. And we came down to Bavel, and in the year 3404, the story of Purim happened under a king whose name is Achashverosh. So let's go back to dates, 2448 to 3404. Okay, so almost we're talking about 1,000 years. Now, when we got the Torah, it says, Kofa Aleihem Har Kigigis. You would imagine as if that we were forced. We weren't forced. But what does that mean? When the Eibishter gave us the Torah, it was, I wish I had the words, it was so big. Elikus was so echad. Elikus echad doesn't mean there's only one God. Elikus echad means that there is only Elikus. That's all there is. You and I don't really exist. He exists, and we are part of this oneness. We are part of the oneness of God. Not that there's only one God. Whoever thought there was more than one God. Not that there's only one God, but that there is only God. Only Hashem. So when the Eibishter comes down to Har Sinai in the year 2448, and he gives us the Torah, and he starts to talk, ooh, whoa, al kol dibur v'dibur porcha nishmasam. They were scared. They were scared. They said Naaseh v'Nishma. Of course they said Naaseh v'Nishma to something which was greater than life. In fact, let me say it differently, to something which was life itself. What, you don't say Naaseh v'Nishma to something which is life itself? When you realize that you're facing, I know I was there, but I don't remember, that you're facing the most awesome, that's a good word here, the most awesome thing in the world. The oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that He is the world, and you're just what He does with you. So it was an acceptance of Naaseh v'Nishma, but it was an acceptance through tremendous awe, not kfiyah, awe. Of course I'm going to say yes to Hashem. There's nothing else out there. And then came the story of Purim. And in the story of Purim, we had a little bit of a problem. There's a lot of sichas. I can't go through all of them. I'll be here much too long. They went to Sudas Achashverosh, Mitzachvar Lozen Nachon Goy. They shouldn't have done it. We're not going to go through all of those. But if you have a chance, go on. I mean, I'm sure everywhere there are Mefarshim on it. For 11 months, they were under the struggle and the fear of Homonorosha. For 11 months. And now, in this struggle, in the struggle where they were part of it, in this struggle that they were part of, they actually then said, yeah, we want the Torah. Yeah, Nasa Benishma. Yeah. In our struggle, in our tzaras, in our difficulty, in the middle of all of this, in us fasting and praying and pushing ourselves, that brings out our strength and that brings out our commitment. You know, there was a Russian woman that once said that when she was in Russia, and she had to struggle for kashrus, and she had to struggle for Shabbos, and she had to struggle, she struggled. She came to the United States, and first of all, there she was called the Jew, and here she was called the Russian. Not so good yet. And she stopped struggling, and when she stopped struggling, it was easier not to do. Struggle brings out the best in us. Struggle brings out the best in us. So kimu v'kiblu aleihem. Now, in the year 3404, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us in the measure of that generation in the year 2448. And now in our generation, we have to prove the whole time to ourselves. Kimu v'kiblu. We have to be, again, every day, every minute, with every struggle, with every difficulty, with every challenge. Yes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Na'aseh v'nishma. Thank you. And do me a favor. A freilichen Purim. Without shtick. A freilichen Purim. A Purim mit mitzvahs. And if your Shalach Monas isn't up to, I'm not sure who, I already said that, but who cares? I'll say it again. We say everything more than once. Doesn't matter. Do it happily. B'simcha, with your mishpacha. And remember to tell them with your peh how much you appreciate them. The Virchas Mashiach, immediately now. Thank you for coming to my kitchen.